Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today I will be covering a topic decorators. So what is decorator? Decorator is nothing but it will be extending or modifying the behavior of class, property, method or parameter. So class we have seen already. Class decorators are at the rate component at the rate ng module in our previous videos. So there will be a normal TypeScript class by adding at the rate ng module and at the rate component. It will behave like a Angular component and a Angular module. Similarly, we have a at the rate input and at the rate output for the Angular properties. These at the rate input and output we have seen in our previous video. These are used to share the data between two components. Similarly, we have a at the rate host listener, at the rate host binding for the methods. We will be covering this in the directive section, and we have at the rate inject and at the rate optional for the method arguments. So these are called as parameter decorator. So I will be explaining today in detail about at the rate component decorator. So I have two components in my code. One is app component, another one is home component. I added the home component selector in the app component HTML. Since the app component selector it's given only within the codes, um, I will be adding it as a HTML tag in the app component. Um, and this other rate of component decorator consists of template URL and other metadata like a selector, style URL, view encapsulation provided in like that. So many metadatas it will have. So since app home is added here in the app component, when I gave localhost 4200 in the system, initially the app component HTML tag will be loaded. Then app home component HTML tag is getting loaded here. You can see it in the inspect. So this is rendered from uh, p tag from app root, and this is rendered from app home. So this entire HTML is index.html. So we added this app root selector in the index.html. So this is the first page which is getting rendered in our browser. We have added here app root uh, tag, HTML tag. So the app component HTML content is getting loaded in our browser, in our screen. Okay. We have different ways to mention a selector here. One way is like a HTML tag. Another way is using a HTML class. So if I put a dot here, it will behave like a HTML class. So you need to have a div tag class equal to app home. So I have added a class as a selector. Here also I added a div class home, app home. So the same, there is no difference in the content in the HTML in the screen. So the same app home component get rendered, and it is rendered with the div tag. You can see it here with the class name app home. The another way to add the home component in the app component is using directives. We will be covering directive in the upcoming videos. So if you had a square bracket, you need to make the selector as a directive in the app component. I'm adding app home as a directive. App home. So if you see in the browser, the content is same, nothing has been changed, and this is rendered from app home directive. So these are the different ways we can add the home component in the app component. So we will see the template URL now. Here template URL represent the file path where the HTML content is there. Here in our code we have a single line HTML. So instead of having it in a separate file, we can have it in the TS file itself, so that debugging will be much easier. So I'm removing that p tag here from here, and I am adding it in the TypeScript file itself. And then instead of template URL path, I am adding template. So there is no change in the browser. The same content is getting displayed now. So another way, if you have a multiple line of HTML code, then instead of single quotes, you need to use backticks to display the HTML content. So I have a p tag and there is a h1 tag, second line, and I need to end it with the backticks. So if you see in the code, the second line is added here. There is no change. We can add it like a HTML template URL, or we can add it like this in the inline template. And then style URL represent the styling sheet path. Instead of adding it in a separate file, we can have, if the styles are less, we can add it here itself. So I'm adding a div tag. Sorry, we have a paragraph tag and h1 tag. I'm adding style for h1 tag. Color, I'm adding it as green. And so since it is styles, I'm making it as styles. So in our browser, so the h1 tag appears in the green color. So like this, we can have a template URL. Otherwise, we can replace the template URL with the HTML content here. If it is a multi-line content, we need to use backticks. If it is a single line, you can use a single quotes. Similarly, style URL can be replaced with the styles. So we will be seeing that data binding in the upcoming videos.